Hello everybody, I am commandeering supper tonight, and so I am going to make some ribs, St. Louis style ribs, and I'm going to be cooking them on a very old, it's not even a smoker, it's a grill from the probably the 1970s that my grandpa had and that he passed down to my dad. I say passed down in a very, I'm just joking. It's just a grill that's stood the test of time, and hey, if it's still holding together, why get rid of it? So, I don't have any other smokers or any other grills. This is what I use. So, anyways, you'll see it here in just a minute. But first, I'm going to show you what I do to prepare those ribs. So this is what we have right here. We have some St. Louis style spare ribs, and we got these on sale today. Normally we wait till they go on sale. I think they were normally $16 and we got them for just under $10. So anyways, we're gonna open this up, let the juice drain out, and then I'll show you what I do from there. All right, so we've got these ribs on a tray here. And what we're going to do is we're going to pat them dry. All right. Just pat that dry. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a paper towel and we're going to rip the membrane off of the underside of the rack of ribs. And I can't do it with just one hand very well, but it just rips off. So you're gonna, it may be peeling back on the edge here, but if you can't really see it, all you have to do is just go like this and kind of pinch it with a paper towel, and it'll pull up right there. That's how you get it off. And this is what it looks like when it's off. And the reason we take that off is because whenever you're eating the ribs, you don't want that membrane on it because it's hard to chew, and taking it off helps the flavor of the charcoal and the wood or whatever you're using. It helps permeate the meat more so. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to put some yellow mustard on the ribs as a binder. And we're going to start with the underside where we took the membrane off. We're going to start with that side first, and I'll put the mustard on there and then coat it with seasoning with a dry rub. All right, so here we go. Just a thin line. You don't have to have very much. And then you just rub that all over, and it helps the seasoning stick a little bit better. It's a binder. So rub it in really good. We'll put some on the edge here, and we'll flip this over and do the other side as well. All right, both sides are done, and then now we are going to put the seasoning on. All right, some people actually salt and pepper this too, and you can do that as well. But now we're going to apply our dry rub. And normally I make this rub myself, but I ran out of it, so we were just using I ran out of the ingredients, so we were just using some stuff that Charity bought the other day. We want to apply it pretty generously. We want it to soak in and get those flavors starting to permeate the meat as much as we can. And it's really, you don't have to put this much if you don't want to. I like to put as much as I can. I like to make sure that the meat's completely covered. Like I said, we are starting with that side where the membrane was first, and then we're going to flip it over to the pretty side, the meat side, and and do the same thing there. All right, so we have applied it to the meat side, and especially to the side of the meat, where the bones will be sticking out right here, where they end. So anyways, we're just gonna let that sit for a little bit and start permeating the meat. And we're gonna go start our fire. All right, if you guys thought I was kidding about my grill being really old and horrible grill, I'm about to prove to you that I was not kidding. It is an absolute travesty. It probably brings our property value down just a little bit, just by it simply being here. Anyways, all right, this is the grill in all its glory. I'm not even sure what brand it is. You can tell by the handle. It has seen a lot of grill outs, cookouts, whatever. Anyways, so what we're doing here is we're going to light our charcoal on fire in this chimney here. We're gonna put some paper and light it on fire underneath, which I'll show you after it happens. And we've got some charcoal and pecan wood. I left all my cherry at my dad's house. So this is all the wood I have, just pecan, but it gives it a great flavor. All right, so we've got some paper underneath there. Normally I have some Royal Oak fire starters, but this is all we've got today. So we're just lighting that paper on fire. Got some smoke coming out the top here. So what it does, it just brings the heat in the fire just straight at like a chimney. So all you master barbecuers out there, don't laugh at me too hard, okay? Because I have got the most unprofessional setup, but hey, whatever cooks the food, right? However it works, it works. We are going to let this burn for probably 20 minutes or so until we've got some red hot coals inside this chimney. And then we're going to dump it all right here and go from there. We've got quite a few red hot coals here, so we are going to dump this on the grill. Alright, so we have meat on there, coals back there, and I've also put some water in a pan underneath this just to help it stay moist, I guess is the right word for that, just so it doesn't dry out too much. So the steam from the water will help keep the ribs from drying out too much. So anyways, that's where we are at this point. It'll probably take 2 hours for the ribs to cook completely. This is not a low and slow method. This is a hot and fast method, which is the only method I can use because of what I have to work with here. So anyways, here in about 2 hours, they'll be completely done. And what we're going to do in the meantime, we'll wait probably about an hour, maybe hour 15, hour 30 minutes. We'll probably wrap them in aluminum foil and then put some honey and brown sugar and butter in the aluminum foil and let them cook for just a few more minutes after that. All right, we are 30 minutes in, and I can't leave this lid open too long or the fire gets too hot. It'll flame up and it'll scorch the meat, but for 30 minutes in, we're gonna look at it for an update. All right, so here we go. Got some good color on it. it's not too dry, we're gonna let that. Normally I don't use, see that flaring up right there, that's what you don't want. So anyways, normally I don't use aluminum foil, but I'm out of the other covering that I normally use. It's more perforated, but aluminum foil works fine. I mean, at the end of the day, it all tastes the same. It's not professional. It isn't, you know, a comp rib like they have at Memphis and May or, you know, whatever. But it's going to eat very, 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 very good, very well. So I'm very thankful for what little I have to work with. It works, and as long as it works, hey, why spend the money on anything else? We're actually going to open it one more time now that the fire's died down a little bit. Try to get that juice off of there. You know, things don't have to be absolutely perfect. They really don't. I mean, it's looking a little bit dry right there, but there's still a lot of moisture coming out of this thing. And the ribs are actually popping out and looking really good. If you get some water down there with that steam, it does really well. Fire's still blazing hot, so looking good. We'll leave it on there about an hour, maybe, just under an hour. We are sitting right about 180 on the meat temp, so we are going to start wrapping it in aluminum foil. All right, so we've got about 4 dabs of butter here, along with brown sugar and honey on some aluminum foil, and this is what we're gonna put the meat on when I bring it in. All right, things are cooking right along. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That is amazing. Woo! That is awesome. Yeah, these are cooking up great. Fantastic. I don't normally put any barbecue sauce on ribs. I don't normally cook them exactly like this, but I don't usually put barbecue sauce on them like some people do and let it, because I just don't have the smoker for it or the capacity for it, so I don't do that. I just dip it in a barbecue sauce. But anyways, we're putting some corn on the cob here, and I'm gonna let this cook for the remainder of the time that the ribs have. So we're just gonna twist those around every few minutes or so. Should I be flipping these with my fingers? No, but I am, so, oh well. All right, we're gonna take another gander at these ribs here and see what's going on with them. Let's see here. Woo! So our meat is approaching the 200-degree mark, and that's where we want it right there. It's climbing up a little bit more. So we're gonna take these off, and we're going to just set them in a cooler and let the I guess residual heat. I think that's what it's called. We're gonna let the heat that's still in them. How about that? We're gonna let the heat that's still in them kind of meander around them a little bit more and bring them on up to temp. A little bit more to go getting these corn on the cob just right. the heat is burning the outside of the husks there, but it is tenderizing that corn on the inside. So these are just about right.